Apple is rumored to be working on a pair of over-ear headphones, possibly called the AirPods Studio. Here is everything we know about these headphones so far. We've had rumors for the past few months from a couple of different sources that give us a lot of information about what these over-ear headphones might look like and also what features they might have. The first is, like the AirPods Pro, these over-ear headphones would have active noise cancellation and a transparency mode. This transparency mode lets in some sound from the outside world, so you're able to have an idea of what's going on even when you have them over your ears and you're listening to music. A report from 9to5Mac has also given us a lot of detail on some of the sensors that these headphones might have. The first is one to know whether they're resting on your head or you have them around your neck. So like the regular AirPods that have sensors to know when you take them out of your ears and the music pauses accordingly, these headphones would supposedly know when they're on your head or resting on your neck and be able to pause the music when you're not actively listening to them. These headphones will also potentially not have a right or a wrong way to wear them. So with headphones that traditionally have a left and a right channel hardwired, the AirPods Studio may have a sensor that would know which way you put them on and be able to route the left and the right channels accordingly. These headphones might also have an equalizer, so when you're listening to music on iOS or macOS, you'll be able to tweak the sound accordingly. Now, Apple does have an adaptive EQ currently on the AirPods Pro. Now, this is dynamically adjusting the sound depending on a couple of different variables, such as the shape of your ear. But unless you go in and manually tweak the equalizer in an app like Spotify or even in Apple Music within the settings, you can't change the sound to your liking. So the AirPods Studio may have a custom equalizer app. I know that's something that I'm definitely looking forward to if these headphones are the real deal. The first indication that we got that they would be called the AirPods Studio was from this tweet from John Prosser that also revealed a code name and a price, $349 US. Bloomberg has also been talking about a number of different finishes available for the AirPods Studio. So a leather-like finish, or maybe even leather itself, as well as a lighter fabric that would potentially be for a different application, maybe like a sort of a fitness targeted headphone. There's also talk about the fact that these may be modular, so you could change out the cups or maybe even the headband itself. Think about how Apple does the Apple Watch, so you can change the straps or the metal finish on the watch face itself when you're buying it. Maybe that's what the AirPods Studio could offer as well. As for color options, we're still unsure, but it does look like at least we'll be able to potentially get them in a black version as well if this glyph from leaked iOS 14 source code is anything to go by. As you know by now, the AirPods Pro are only available in white, so if you want another color option, you're kind of out of luck unless you put a custom skin on them. So the AirPods lineup would look something like this, starting with the regular look AirPods at $159, then $199 for the regular AirPods with the wireless charging case. Then for $249 would be the AirPods Pro. At $349, it would be the over-ear AirPods Studio. As for a release timeline, we're still uncertain, especially with everything that's going on in the world right now. But given that the fact that this was spotted in iOS 14 source code, it does make sense that perhaps we would see these released when the full version of iOS is available to the public. So that's around September timeline or in the fall, and that's usually when Apple decides to release the new iPhone or the iPhone 12, and we're expecting that in the fall. This isn't the first time that we've seen potential Apple headphones leaked in iOS source code. This has happened before with the Powerbeats Pro, the Powerbeats 4 and the AirPods Pro. So those are all the rumors, but I still do have some lingering questions that are in my head that maybe you're also thinking of as well. The first is, how are these going to differ from the Beats headphones line? So as you probably know, Apple owns Beats, and 6 months ago they released the Solo Pro headset. Now these are not over ear, they're actually on ear, but still have a lot of the same features that we've been talking about, such as active noise cancellation and a transparency mode. They also have that same chip that's in the AirPods for seamless connections, and they also have voice activated you know what. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to start your voice assistant, but they have a lot of the same features essentially, and they are $50 cheaper, so $299 rather than $349. So it's going to be interesting to see how Apple differentiates those. Maybe it's going to come down to the sound profile. Traditionally, the Beats headphones have been a little bit more bass heavy, so maybe the AirPods Studio will sound a little bit more like the regular AirPods, so a bit more neutral on that default profile, and the equalizer will let people like me who like to tweak the audio be able to change it. The next is the ability for the AirPods Studio to have a wired connection. We're just not sure if this is a thing yet. Maybe they'll also have a 3.5mm connector if you want to say connect to a MacBook, or a Lightning connector if you want to connect to an iPhone. I really hope that there is a way to have a wired connection as well as being able to use them wireless, of course. The other thing is, how are they going to sit for people that wear glasses? Because if you wear glasses like me, you'll know that prolonged wear of over-ear headphones can sometimes cause some discomfort depending on the design. So I do hope that these ones are going to be comfortable to wear for glasses wearers. And at $349, that these headphones are going to be placed in the same kind of price bracket as those from other brands like Bose, Sony, and Sennheiser. So it's really going to be interesting to see how Apple separates them from these other headphones. Thanks for watching. If you have extra questions or a wish list maybe for the AirPods Studio, leave me a comment down below and let me know. And stay tuned for lots more Apple news, reviews, and rumors here on CNET.